What's good, family? Welcome back to another YouTube video. In this video right here, this is going to be a live trade breakdown. This trade was called Live with the Live Trading Team. If you want to trade live daily with me and get access to 50+ hours of trade breakdowns, make sure you click the first link in the description and join us down below and trade live with us every single day. Without further ado, let's get straight into this trade breakdown. What is up, family? Spektrades back here. Man, we're going to get into this trade breakdown right here. This right here is probably one of the most precise trades that I've taken in just a while. Like the past couple weeks, like these trades has just been like super precise. The algorithm just been running smoothly. Look at this right here. I had marked this up on the live. Tap into it, reject higher, reject lower to come and clear the low, probably later. But price just been respecting and just moving like algorithmically. Like this is not news driven to me. This is just algorithmically driven, and this is like the type of markets that I like because they're so predictable and it's honest, right? That's the word I want to use. It's honest because it's repeatable and predictable. It's not tricky. So the first thing we have to do, like I usually always do, is just the top down analysis. The main thing to sell, right, like I told you guys earlier, it may work, is that we're still inside of this right here, 4-hour fair value gap, right? We're still inside of here. I'm always aware of all my zones. Today was more, to me, was a lower time frame push to mitigate this, to then pull back higher, rebalance to go lower, right? That was like the bias that was in my head, right? You may be wondering, how did I come up with this bias? First thing we have to do is just figure out why did price even extend higher here. So we see this right here. This was our news day release on Friday. Price gave us this 10 a.m. news release. So this was our new dealing range from this high to this old low right here. So we had this 4-hour fair value gap. The 25%, this is the open, this is the 25%, and this is the 50% of this fair value gap. The main reason I was able to catch this trade, even DS missed this trade, was because she was waiting for this to happen, for price to use the body. The only reason I even caught this trade right here is because of the wicks, right? Remember this, ICT had said this one time. He said the wicks do the damage, but the bodies, they hold the volume. But you have to remember this. That's why it's like we usually use the bodies, right? Because it has the volume. But we have to remember the first part of the phrase. They do the damage, right? So even though on the higher time frames, it may look like a wick, right? Just like this right here. It may just look like a rejection type of thing. When you scale in, that's why it's like, for me, I never just use the higher, like the biggest higher time frame zone, I would say. I always refine. I like to refine my trades, my zones, to like a 1 hour to 30-minute zone. Like, because look at this right here. Say this is the 4-hour zone right here. Price won't need the whole zone, but it's gonna like look at the middle. I'm gonna show you, right? Every zone, every higher time frame zone usually has a candle that has a like the biggest volume, right? That's like the midpoint of the zone, as you can see right here. So which one is it? For me personally, is this 1 hour zone right here. This is like the midpoint where it's like, to me, where all the volume is like hiding at right here. You see it, right? We have this candle, it's aligned with this, and we have this other one right here, right? So I can just refine my trade right here, right inside of this candle. This is gonna be my refining 1 hour, right? Perfectly right here. This is gonna look like a well-detailed chart probably at the end. I'm just gonna go over like a full top-down analysis and just show you guys everything. So this is my refined 1 hour, right? 1 hour, refine, bottom. So this is the 4-hour zone. This is the refined one. Perfect. Now, all I'm looking for, like I stated during the live, I actually took it, like I stated, with this one right here, with the risk entry. Perfect. Stop loss right at the candlestick low. This is the zone. This is a 1 hour zone. I know this is gonna work because like it's so much in play in here. We have a higher time frame fair value gap, liquidity, a 1 hour zone. All I'm looking for is just a pullback rejection. That's why it's like the confidence I had in this trade earlier was supreme, right? That's why it's like it had me excited, I would say. Okay, first let's go over this. So this was the first trade right here. I'm gonna remove it. I'm just gonna explain it without even putting it. So this was the first trade right here. But the first thing that I seen was this power of 3. We have to remember the power of 3. The power of 3 is always like my go-to daily like thing that I check for, because it happens really every day. Every day the power of 3 happens. It's either going to be a daily power of 3 a weekly power of 3. Like last week, we had a weekly power of 3 model where in the beginning of the week was our accumulation. The middle of the week, we had that accumulation, that distribution. And then on Friday, what did we have? That crazy distribution move. So we had accumulation, the beginning of the week, middle of the week, we had this drop. And then Friday, we had the distribution move right here. This was the weekly power of 3 model. For today was a daily power of 3, where the Asian session, right, give us our accumulation. Perfect. And then I'm gonna remove this. And then during the London session, price manipulated lower to give us this right here, because we have also a session power of 3, right? It's always like the power of 3 can be broken down. That's why it's like we have the CRT. The CRT is just a 4-hour power of 3. It's all about accumulation, manipulation, distribution. So we see that during the Asian session, price accumulated here. During the London session, price pushed down lower. But before we have our 9:30 manipulation, like I stated, the 9:30 and the 10 a.m., that's why we wait for the 9:30 and the 10 a.m. to play. That's the only reason, because those are manipulation times. It's always time, then price. Always keep that in mind. It's time, then price. That's the only way that like the algorithm delivers, right? It's after a certain time. After you see price push down lower, give us this London session manipulation. But before we have this 9:30 manipulation, we have to get this early morning accumulation. So we're playing inside of this session power of 3. You see it now? So now we have our lower time frame accumulation. Price manipulated lower. So this was the first entry I scaled in on. Perfect. I entered on 1 micro, targeting this prior high right here. Not really. For me personally, right here was going to be more than enough. I rarely hold my trades all the way, because I usually, once I'm confirming the trade, I load up 30 micros and make like 1,200, 1,300 right here, right? And just one clean push. That's all I need. But as you can see right here, I need to scale in. Now let's scale down to the 1 minute. The next thing that I look for is just a entry structure break, because after price played in here, like I told you guys, because this is a 1 hour zone, we gonna expect for pullbacks. So when price pulled back in here, there was no fear, because it respected this low. We already got a lower time frame change in state of delivery of this prior swing high right here. This was a lower time frame change in state of delivery. So when price pushes down lower, mitigate this order block right here. Price are already extending higher. And now with every break of structure, especially on the 5 minutes, this is where we started getting this clean push. Like I told you guys on the live, once we break through this right here, this is the first take profit zone, right? This was the prior consolidation zone. This right here, when price breaks through it, is going to act as a support level. Now, as you can see, it was aligned with this fair value gap. That was a beautiful part about it. So when price pulled back, mitigate this zone and this fair value gap extending higher. This was like a second trade opportunity. But to be honest, as soon as price breaks through this right here, that's if you're a newbie trader or somebody that's scared and you like miss this trade, as soon as price breaks through this right here, you get a 5-minute break, a 15-minute break like you've seen today, right? This is a confirmed reversal, right? Don't play with these trades. This is a confirmed reversal that's going to lead price to attack these highs up here. That's why, for me personally, I stopped playing around with these trades a long time ago, because like I was leaving so much on the table because of fear of just getting in. But once we get this break right here, I'm scaling in heavy. I entered with a low micro, but once I get my break, I'm scaling in heavy because I know now it's confirmed to attack this prior high right here. But now this is the major reversal right here, right? Like I stated, during the afternoon session, this is where price is going to rebalance. The morning session build the buy side curve, but now the afternoon session is going to build the sell side curve. If you guys watched that MMXM video I released about 2-3 weeks ago, the markets move in this flow format. That's the only way the market move. Look at this right here. Rally, pull back, rally. What is it doing? Pull back. It's going to do the exact same thing, but it has to pull liquidity. One thing we have to keep in mind is this right here. Based on this right here, all my students should know where is the next pool of liquidity. If you can guess the next pool of liquidity and why, it is going to come in your mind. All right. But just know this, price is going from pool of liquidity to what? Pool of liquidity. So where is the next pool of liquidity? The next pool of liquidity is where recent orders were placed. these prior lows right here. Perfect. I'm going to remove everything just so I can explain this. Perfect. Clean. So it's super predictable. That's why once you see this, I put this on my story. Once you see it, it's gonna like it's the same exact thing that happens. So once price, right, this was the pool of liquidity I was looking for price to pull towards to. Draw on liquidity. Where is the next point of liquidity? Price is going from pool to pool. All we need to do is just figure out where did this came from. Where did this high come from? It came from this low right here. So a lot of orders are still below this old low right here. This was the manipulation low right here. So a lot of people, they're expecting their stop losses to be safe, right? Where is a safe stop loss is these swing lows. But one thing we always understand is that the trade is over, right? Once price clears a prior major point of liquidity, especially like these Asian highs, and then give us a market structure shift, right? We have a new dealing range from here to here. Everything here is sell side liquidity lows right here. So any traders that's still holding this to here, potentially, it's what a lot of people are thinking. This is like a pullback. This may work. Don't get me wrong. It may work. But to me personally, price is just probably going to use this right here to then smack them lower, right? Like a pullback to smack it lower. The main point, the main reason is because this. I'm going to use this right here because we have a 15-minute sweep of this high. Perfect. It's like a 30-minute too. You can see right here. Right? So why would where is the point of liquidity for price to bounce on, right? This is like a no man's land. That's why I say whenever you see like a clear candlestick low, is like is over with, right? It's over with. Because now the main thing for this, to me personally, is price may just come back and fill in just like the 50% of this zone right here. Because price really didn't really mitigate this. So that trade DS tomorrow, I feel like this is exactly what's gonna happen. But look how price built this right here. Look how beautiful this looks. Like this is to me one of the most beautiful type of profiles, I'll say, right? Trading profiles. We had our manipulation lower, distribution, pullback, inducement, inducing this 4-hour reclaim order block. Price only mitigate the wick, right? The wick is just to build the inducement. The 930 is gonna become the, let me go in the 15 minutes. The 930 is gonna become the new liquidity low. Perfect. It is so perfect that it blows my mind every time, right? Because price will open up like this, go lower, and then give you that extension. But that low right here is the price, is gonna be the next point of liquidity because it's not literally trying to push price higher. It's just manipulating higher, right? It's just manipulating higher to then continue this downtrend right here. But it's just following the overall higher time frame trend. So we're going from here now, right? From this liquidity pool to this liquidity pool. And once price clears this liquidity pool and mitigates this higher time frame zone, what is going to be the next liquidity pool? The prior highs up here, the prior highs. Now we're going to be attacking these highs. This reclaim block is done. This rejection block is done now, right? Price mitigated. So there's no more volume here. So if price comes back up here, it's not just going to smack lower to just continue lower, right? It's just going to violate it all. That's why I like this buy for now, right? Price put down lower, clear this inducement, attack here to then extend higher. It gave us two great opportunities. Like today, for me personally, it gave a lot of opportunities. I took this trade on my personal account, on funded accounts. I haven't traded my trade locker account in a minute, so I had to take this trade. It was just too perfect, especially when price respected this. When it stayed inside of this right here and I seen it just stayed inside of it, this was a potential extra, let me see right here, 60 points, right? A 5-minute fair value gap inspection, and in the prior, and in the next candlestick lows, respecting, right? Higher low, higher low, higher low. This is a market structure right here to just extend higher, an uptrend market structure shift, right? Yeah, that's perfect right here. But man, today was just a beautiful type of trading day, because later tonight I possibly may see price push down lower, manipulate during the London session. That's kind of one of the things I'm like looking for, possibly like a London session manipulation. This is like the prior point of liquidity, the next pool of liquidity. So like a London session manipulation lower inside of this 4-hour zone, So then during the New York session tomorrow, we distribute higher to clear these highs right here. But this is it for me. This is going to be it for this video right here. I hope you guys learned something, and go on your charts and just try this for yourself, right? Always the refinements. Pay attention to the refinements, right? The volumes will be used, but keep in mind of market logic, right? This trade for me was mainly based on market logic. The main point was that we didn't have our inducement yet. Because we didn't have our inducement, this was like a RTO type of entry. The main thing I used was just a fair value gap that's aligned with a broken order block. The RTO is just the return to order block, where we have no prior point of liquidity in tide, where its price just break, pull back, retest, and extension. That's the return to order block. It's a break, and retest to then extension, like a break and retest, price break it and retest. Like the zone wasn't really fully done yet, right? Like the zone is now getting built. Now we have our inducement low, inducing this 4-hour body in order block right here. You have to know that a lot of liquidity is still inside of here. Only the wick got tapped into to build this liquidity low. That's the mind shift. It's like now it's like we're thinking like the algorithm. What is next? What the algorithm may do? Once you start thinking like that, you start moving like the algorithm. You start being the algo. You start catching crazy trades like these. But this is gonna be it for me. Spektrades out.